World War II didn't end the way most people think it did. It ended in fire, fear, and a weapon the world had never seen before. The war came to an abrupt end on August 15th, when Japan announced its unconditional surrender to the Allied forces. This decision followed just days after a turning point that changed warfare forever. The United States had dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan, the first on Hiroshima and the second on Nagasaki. Both cities were important, but not the absolute centers of Japan's power. And that raises a major question. If the goal was to force Japan's surrender, why weren't Tokyo, Osaka, or Kyoto targeted instead? Why not strike the most powerful city, the capital itself? President Truman approved the use of atomic weapons to bring the war to a rapid end. The goal wasn't just destruction. It was to avoid a full-scale invasion of Japan, which military planners feared could cost hundreds of thousands of American lives. Following agreements with Allied partners, the U.S. assembled a short list of potential targets for the new weapon. Tokyo was the obvious first choice, but it was quickly ruled out. There were several key reasons. First, Tokyo was Japan's political center. Destroying it could eliminate the very leadership needed to surrender, potentially prolonging the war instead of ending it. Second, post-war occupation would become far more difficult if the administrative heart of Japan was completely wiped out. There was also the issue of the Japanese emperor. U.S. planners believed his survival was critical for maintaining order after surrender. Targeting Tokyo risked his death, which could have hardened Japanese resistance instead of ending it. And finally, Tokyo had already suffered heavy conventional bombing. Its destruction would not have demonstrated the overwhelming shock effect the U.S. was aiming for. Next on the list was Kyoto, Japan's ancient capital and a major cultural and historical center. Military planners saw it as a powerful psychological target. Its destruction could potentially break Japan's will to continue the war. In fact, Kyoto was initially favored. However, U.S. Secretary of War Henry Stimson strongly objected and pushed for it to be removed from the list. His reasoning was both strategic and personal. Kyoto's cultural importance meant its destruction could fuel long-term resentment and complicate post-war relations. He had also visited the city himself and appreciated its historical value. With Kyoto removed, the final shortlist included Hiroshima, Kokura, Niigata, and Yokohama. Hiroshima was selected due to its military significance and industrial infrastructure. Kokura became the second primary target because of its weapons production facilities. Both cities had been relatively untouched by earlier bombing raids, making them ideal for demonstrating the full impact of the atomic bomb. However, Kokura would ultimately escape destruction. On the day of the mission, poor visibility caused by smoke and cloud cover made it impossible to accurately identify the target. As a result, the crew diverted to their secondary target, Nagasaki. Following the devastation of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan surrendered shortly after, bringing World War II to an end. A third atomic bomb was prepared, but it was never used. With Japan's surrender, Tokyo was spared further destruction. The next video is even more shocking. Subscribe now so you don't miss it.